Sometimes people ask me what I find most attractive. And they expect me to say looks, style, or something everyone notices at first sight. But the truth is, it's none of those things. What really captures me, what makes my heart race in silence, is energy. That quiet, radiant light someone carries when they walk into a room. It's the way they laugh, like they've already decided life is a gift. It's the way they turn challenges into lessons instead of excuses. Positive energy. Oh, that is the most magnetic thing I've ever felt. It's like a secret current in the air, pulling me closer without a word. An attitude that says, I will rise no matter what life throws my way. And that, more than any face, more than any body, is what I secretly crave. Because confidence without arrogance, hope without fear, joy without reason, that is what makes someone irresistible. And when I see it, when I feel it, it's impossible not to whisper inside myself, yes, that is sexy to me. People often believe attraction is about appearances. The shape of a smile, the way someone dresses, the surface of what can be seen. But what I've come to realize is that those things, while pleasant, are fleeting. Beauty in the eyes, the jawline, the clothes, they all belong to a world that changes with time, with trends, with age. They can capture your attention for a moment, but they rarely capture your soul. What truly lingers in my heart isn't how someone looks, but how someone feels. When I meet a person who carries light inside them, it's impossible not to notice. There's something about the way their energy enters, before they even speak, as if the room subtly bends toward them. They may not be the most traditionally beautiful by society's standards, but there's a magnetic quality in the way they move, in the way they hold themselves, in the warmth that spills from them without effort. It's not beauty you see, it's beauty you sense. I've watched people with perfect features leave no impression on me, like shadows passing by. And then, I've seen someone whose spirit radiates so much joy and confidence that it makes them unforgettable, even if their face doesn't match the pages of a magazine. That's when I knew attraction wasn't about perfection. It was about presence. It was about the way someone's energy makes you feel when you're near them. There's a kind of glow that comes from people who carry positivity in their bones. It's not something makeup can paint or fashion can create. It's born in the heart, nurtured by the mind, and carried into the world through every glance, every gesture, every word. And that glow, it's what stirs something deeper inside me. It's not about the curve of lips, but the curve of their spirit. The way it lifts when they laugh. The way it doesn't shatter when life gets difficult. You can stand in a crowd and find your eyes chasing not the most glamorous face, but the one that seems alive with an inner fire. It's subtle yet undeniable. They don't have to try to be noticed. They simply are. And the strange, beautiful truth is that the body can age, the features can change, but that energy, when it's nurtured, only grows stronger with time. That's the kind of attraction that doesn't fade but deepens. So when I think about what truly makes me feel drawn to someone, it's never the shallow answer. It's always the quiet truth. Positive energy. A certain attitude, a way of living that says life is worth smiling at. And when I sense that in someone, it doesn't matter what the mirror says. It matters what the soul speaks. And that, to me, is the kind of beauty that never dies. There is a quiet force in the world that pulls people together without them even realizing it. It isn't about words or appearances. It's something far deeper, more invisible, yet unmistakable. That force is positive energy. The moment someone enters a space carrying that kind of light, you feel it. It moves like an unseen current, changing the atmosphere, drawing attention without effort. It's magnetic in the truest sense. People find themselves leaning closer, smiling without knowing why, wanting to remain in the orbit of that energy. I've seen it happen countless times. A person with no need to be the loudest, no desire to dominate, walks into a room with calm confidence and warmth. Instantly, the space feels brighter, lighter, easier to breathe in. Others around them soften, conversations shift, and even silence feels less heavy. You can't explain it by physical beauty or charm alone, because plenty of people try to command attention with those things. But positive energy doesn't demand, it attracts. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And yet, it is always heard. It's in the way someone's smile feels genuine, not rehearsed. The way their laughter sounds unforced, carrying an ease that gives permission for others to relax. Their presence tells you, without a word, that it's safe to drop your guard, to be yourself, to step into the light with them. That is the irresistible part. Positive energy doesn't just stay within the person who holds it, it spreads. It creates connection, a spark that makes everyone around feel better, simply by being near it. I've noticed how people naturally gravitate toward those who embody this light. They become the center of gravity without trying. You want to stand closer, to hear their voice, to watch the way they carry themselves. Because something in them feels rare, refreshing, almost healing. It's not about charisma in the flashy sense. It's something more subtle and profound. It's not a show, it's authenticity. And authenticity, when mixed with positivity, becomes irresistible. That energy lingers even after they leave. You think about it, replay it, wonder why you felt so good in their presence. It's because true positive energy isn't just surface. It resonates. It touches something inside you that you didn't realize was waiting to be awakened. It doesn't fade quickly, like a face you forget once the lights go down. It stays, like a melody that hums in the back of your mind, long after the song has ended. So when I say positive energy is magnetic, I mean it in the most literal sense. It has a pull, a force, a draw that requires no explanation. It doesn't need to be wrapped in beauty, or wealth, or titles. It's powerful on its own. And when I feel that kind of energy near me, I can't help but be drawn closer. As if some secret part of me already knows. This is where I want to be. This is the kind of soul I cannot resist. There is something endlessly captivating about someone who doesn't break under pressure, someone who sees storms not as reasons to hide, but as chances to grow. Life throws challenges at everyone, it's unavoidable. But what separates the ordinary from the unforgettable is the way a person responds when things don't go their way. An optimistic attitude has a way of transforming even the darkest situations into sparks of light. It's not about denying pain or pretending difficulties don't exist. It's about refusing to let those difficulties define the ending of the story. I find myself drawn to people who can meet obstacles with steady eyes, who take a breath and ask, "What can I learn from this?" rather than, "Why me?" That subtle shift in perspective is where resilience is born. It's in those moments when most would crumble that their true beauty begins to shine. They may stumble, they may fall, but they don't surrender. Instead, they rise, sometimes slowly, sometimes painfully, but always with the quiet conviction that every setback carries within it a seed of growth. Watching someone turn a problem into an opportunity is like witnessing alchemy. You see disappointment, and then suddenly, it becomes fuel for determination. You see rejection, and then somehow, it transforms into redirection towards something better. Their attitude rewrites the script of reality. What could have been an excuse to quit becomes a reason to keep moving. What could have been a dead end becomes the beginning of a new path. That is power. And that power is more alluring than any surface level attraction ever could be. There's a fire in the eyes of someone who refuses to be defeated. It's not arrogance. It's hope dressed as courage. They may not always know how things will work out, but their faith in possibility keeps them moving forward. And that faith is contagious. When you stand beside someone like that, you begin to feel braver yourself. Their optimism becomes a mirror, reflecting back your own hidden strength, reminding you that you too can rise, you too can turn obstacles into stepping stones. I think the reason this attitude is so magnetic is because it speaks of depth. Anyone can smile when life is easy. But it takes something extraordinary to smile when everything seems to fall apart. It takes strength to believe that pain has purpose, that failure carries lessons, that endings are often disguised beginnings. That kind of perspective doesn't just inspire, it seduces. Because when someone sees the world through that lens, you know they won't just walk through life. They'll create life, shape it, transform it. So when I witness someone carry optimism into battle with their struggles, it's impossible not to be moved. Their light doesn't deny the shadows. It pierces them. Their energy doesn't ignore hardship. It reshapes it. And standing in the presence of that kind of spirit, I can't help but feel the pull, the deep desire to be close to it. Because that resilience is not only admirable, it's irresistibly beautiful. There is a kind of confidence that dazzles on the surface. Loud and showy, built to impress anyone who happens to be watching. It tries to prove something, to demand recognition, to say, "Look at me." But that kind of confidence, though it may shine for a moment, fades just as quickly. What lingers, what draws me in like gravity, is something far quieter. It's confidence that doesn't need to be announced. The kind that exists naturally, like breathing. It's a presence, a way of moving through the world with assurance, yet without arrogance. That balance between strength and humility is rare, and when I see it, it feels irresistibly magnetic. There's beauty in someone who knows who they are, but doesn't need to make others small to feel tall. Their confidence isn't built on comparison. It stands on its own foundation. They don't walk into a room to take all the attention. Yet somehow, attention drifts toward them anyway. Their words carry weight not because they shout, but because they are spoken with clarity and truth. There's no ego pushing, no desperation to be noticed. It's a calm certainty, and it radiates far louder than pride ever could. Humility makes confidence alluring rather than intimidating. When someone carries strength but wears it lightly, it feels approachable. You don't feel pushed away. You feel invited closer. They can celebrate their own victories without needing to boast. They can acknowledge their strengths while still honoring the strengths of others. That humility doesn't weaken them. It deepens them. It makes you realize that their confidence isn't fragile or manufactured, but real, unshakable, born from within. There's a grace in watching someone strong enough to stand tall yet gentle enough to bow when it's needed. They can lead without dominating. They can inspire without overshadowing. They can shine without blinding. And in that delicate balance, there's an undeniable sexiness. Because arrogance is easy, it's a mask many wear. But true confidence, tempered with humility, is rare. It's raw, it's genuine, it's powerful. What captivates me most is how this kind of presence changes the energy around it. People feel safe, respected, uplifted. No one walks away feeling diminished, instead, they feel seen. That's the difference humility makes. It transforms confidence from self-centered into magnetic. It makes people want to stay, to listen, to trust, because they can sense it isn't about control, but about authenticity. When I encounter that mix, someone who stands firmly in their own skin, yet never forgets the humanity of others, it stays with me. It makes me want to lean in, to know more, to be closer. It's not the kind of attraction that burns fast and disappears. It's the kind that grows deeper the more you see it, the more you feel it. That quiet strength, softened by humility, is not just admirable, it's profoundly, undeniably irresistible. There is something unforgettable about a person who carries joy inside them for no reason other than being alive. It's not the kind of joy that depends on circumstance, on money, on recognition, or on the approval of others. It's deeper, quieter, more enduring. It's the kind of joy that lives in the soul, steady even when storms come, shining even when the world tries to dim it. That kind of joy is rare, and when I see it, it's impossible not to be captivated. True sexiness doesn't come from carefully polished appearances or flawless perfection. It comes from the way someone chooses to face life with a light that refuses to go out. I notice it in the way they laugh without needing an audience, in the way their eyes hold a spark, even after tears have fallen. Their joy isn't loud or performative. It's real. It doesn't demand attention, yet it draws it all the same. Because when someone carries joy like that, they carry freedom, and freedom is irresistibly beautiful. Resilience is woven into that joy. It's not about never feeling pain or never falling down. It's about rising again with a smile that says, "This is not the end." That resilience creates a strength that can't be faked. You can see it in the way they move through setbacks, how they turn scars into stories instead of shame. There's a grace in their survival, a dignity in their refusal to let life harden them. And that combination, joy and resilience, creates an inner light that no surface beauty can compete with. Confidence plays its part too, but not the sharp, edged kind that pushes others away. It's a soft confidence, the kind that comes from knowing that worth isn't tied to external validation. They don't need to prove themselves, because their joy already speaks for them. It shows in their presence, in the ease of their movements, in the calm strength of their words. There is no desperation to impress, no mask to maintain, only the quiet truth of a soul at peace with itself. When I witness someone living this way, it feels magnetic. The kind of attraction that doesn't just draw your eyes but tugs at something deep within. You want to be near them, not because of what they look like, but because of how they make the world feel lighter. They awaken something inside you, a reminder that life, even in its chaos, can still be beautiful. That is why I say true sexiness lies in joy, in resilience, in inner light. Because beauty fades, bodies change, and appearances lose their shine. But that glow, the one born of strength and joy, only grows stronger with time. It's the kind of beauty you don't just see, you feel it. And when you feel it, it lingers, long after the moment has passed, leaving behind the quiet truth that this is what makes someone unforgettable. And so, when I look at what truly pulls me, what truly stirs something deep inside, it's never the shallow answers the world shouts about. It's the unseen, the unspoken, the energy, the light, the resilience, the quiet confidence, the joy that refuses to fade. Those are the things that live beyond appearances, beyond trends, beyond time itself. They are what makes someone unforgettable, what makes someone magnetic, what makes someone undeniably sexy to me. So to everyone who listens, who carries even a spark of that positive energy within you, never underestimate it. It's not small. It's not invisible. It's powerful. It changes rooms, it changes lives, and it leaves imprints on hearts that no mirror can reflect. That is your gift. That is your light. And that is the kind of beauty the world will never get tired of. Thank you for walking this journey with me, for opening your heart to these words, and for remembering that the most irresistible thing you can ever be is yourself, lit up from the inside. Until we meet again, take care of your light and let it shine. Goodbye, and thank you.